Welcome back, my brother.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
So let's get right straight into it, right?
Yeah.
So we are just talking about politics
Mm.
on the Ghanaian, continuity of what's happening now in terms of we are now having a new administration that has been on for what 2 months now, almost close to two
Yeah.
months now, right? And this topic, I just want to talk about our democratic process, or let's say how we practice our democracy in this country. Politics, let's say politics in these parts of the world, right? What I've noticed is how it's more bipartisan politics at the top and Ghana on the second floor in that sense, right? So there's priority to either two parties going against each other at the expense of the country. So let's say if party is doing something that we all know that might help the country, party B must oppose, regardless of whether the policies are good or not. And we're in a situation where it keeps on going back and forth. But what I noticed is the fact that last time we talked about the youth now getting involved in politics and then are now seeing things, right? And this isn't a good precedent for them, where you see you have to be an opposition. You have to make sure that you are saying everything the party in power does. You have to oppose it. It's not a good precedent we have in the country, and it forms a big divide in our country. I don't want a situation where you look at a situation like the U.S. There's a big divide in the U.S. The Democrats and the what do you call it, the Republicans, right? And these people are. It's so sad how divided they are. Like they don't want to meet in the middle in that sense, where Republicans think they are the right ones, Democrat thinks they are the right ones, and they don't care whatever policies. Maybe there are certain policies Trump is doing that might help the country, but the Democrats are saying the other things. You're seeing certain elements like that in this country. Look at the opposite. It just started 2 weeks in less than 2 months, but we are seeing proper stiff opposition. It is not helping anybody. We're having situations where we are constantly our times are being wasted as Ghanaians, where things are supposed to be. We are supposed to be moving the country to the next level. But due to these bipartisan politics, we are staggering. We are not going anywhere, right? And as a political analyst, what are you seeing and what do you think the effects of this are?
Okay. So I think that the foundational concept of democracy allows for the fact that we should have more than one option, right? So that the citizenry or the electorates will choose from to lead. So be it an independent candidate, a political party, we definitely should have more than one option for Ghanaians to choose from. And then that in its sense, cements the fact that we are practicing a democracy. So that aside, now over the years, we have had two parties, particularly in our Fourth Republic from 1992. We have had two political parties show electoral viability, in terms of victory.
Yeah, exactly.
They are electorally viable and they have the power to win, elections, general elections, which has been the NDC and the MPP.
Yeah.
Now, so over the period, they have built a base, a party base, or a membership, or a followership, or a following of people who believe that anytime their party is in power, they should have certain opportunities to have certain benefits, that come with their party being in government or in power. So I think that, it's the same. It has been the same cycle. MPP is in government. MPP members feel that they need to get certain benefits.
They're entitled to
certain benefits to be close to the corridors of power. They are entitled to certain government positions. So that's why you would not see a case where MPP will be in power and appoint someone who is publicly NDC to a particular position. there have been few instances where, both of the parties have done something like that to show some unity. So they have given positions to,
Is it the
you know,
OSP? Is it the
the
previous OSP guy?
OSP, Martin Amidu,
Yeah.
that's Nanado's. The, I think President Kufuor's time also, he appointed Pakwesi Indum, in his government, knowing that Pakwesi Indum was from the CPP. There have been some of these, instances that have shown people's affiliation to parties, and a different party being in power and using them or giving them positions. But ultimately, every party person, affiliated to a particular party, expects that when their party is in government, they should have certain benefits. And this notion has grown so deeply into our politics that it's one of the things that has caused the divide.
Yeah.
I feel that why is it that when my party was in opposition and I was suffering, now I have my party in power and I have a different party, member who is enjoying the perks of a particular position when I am still suffering? Then what was the point?
What was the point indeed? Yeah.
So association with parties has a very strong relationship, positive relationship with benefits. People have seen people who have built political CVs, by the fact that they are members of a party and they have grown into the party politics. So these are things that we cannot run away from. When a party says that we have the men, a party says we have the men because they can pride themselves in saying that they have people who can man the positions, various positions, when they win power.
The question is,
to be in government.
If it's a capable, nobody will complain if the men are
Exactly.
capable, right?
The capability of the men is something that has always been in question. NDC in opposition will always complain about the capability of MPP when selecting certain people in certain positions.
And they also do the same.
They would also do the same. So that has been the order of the day. Obviously, it has some, I wouldn't say some, but a major disadvantage where now people see the party above the country.
Exactly.
And it's sad, but it's something that is expected with people. Things going on, and political parties are like they are social organizations.
Yeah.
People are in there. There would be a power struggle. There's going to be undue use of power. There's going to be several elements that are particular with groups of people coming together, to do something. So for a political cause that has its benefits of political leadership, people would want to see themselves, benefiting when their party is in government. And unfortunately, that tends to result in people thinking more about the interests of their parties than the interests of the country. And like you were saying, a good opposition would help keep the party in government in check. A good opposition.
Exactly.
Not necessarily opposing everything just because you want to oppose because you're not an opposition. But you, in the interest of the nation, you think that the country, the party in power should not abuse the power that they have. Over the years, we have seen that opposition parties have just narrowed down their role, into just ensuring that they are opposing everything and anything, which is a bit problematic. It is. Currently, what we are seeing, during the ministerial vetting,
it was a sad
we
thing.
are seeing
How?
the minority, trying to tell candidates,
To dance
to
and
dance, a whole lot.
they
It's
call
like
you out, you're
trying
like,
to,
you're protesting. It's
yeah,
like,
it's
how
like
does that got to do with it?
trying to frustrate the process. But the question is that what the country needs now? We certainly and definitely do not need this.
No, not at all.
We have found ourselves in a position. I mean, the MPP members would not want to agree with this, but the point is that we had a very ailing economy.
That goes without
before
saying,
the election.
Exactly.
And so Ghanaians felt that let's bring somebody new. Let's bring another party.
Can I ask you a question before we continue? Do you genuinely think the MPP genuinely believe that they didn't leave it, or is this politics? They are playing politics.
No, the point is that first of all, ask yourself, why was the campaign message of Baumia clearly indicating a certain disconnect from Nanado?
It's true.
Because, if you realize, if you really thought that somebody had done things the right way and he's the president, you are his vice, and you now want Ghanaians to vote you to be president.
You're trying to isolate yourself.
Isolate yourself a bit, So, and they admitted themselves that they have had issues, but they do not blame it on their perceived mismanagement.
Outside,
but they say it's
COVID,
issues
Ukraine,
and other issues, external factors.
Yeah.
But my question here is, Dr. Baumia campaigned on what he called bold solutions.
Yeah.
If you had solutions, it means that there was a problem.
Good point.
You said you have bold solutions.
Yeah.
So bold solutions would mean that there are bold problems.
Yeah.
So certainly they cannot, the MPP cannot run away from the fact that there were issues that were confronting the nation, and Ghanaians had given them a 2-term, 8 years, to show at least a semblance of hope, a little semblance of hope that, we are trying to, fix the situation. So Ghanaians didn't feel that they were trying to fix the situation. And so Ghanaians said, move out of the place. Let's bring somebody else. Now, so if somebody else it's been just less than, 60 days.
Exactly.
If Ghanaians are trying to give those people the opportunity, I don't think it is strategically prudent for even the MPP, for their electoral aspirations in election 2028, to start to frustrate the work of the government so early.
Yeah.
You may want to tone down, allow, the NDC to settle in. Hopefully, from their side, hope that the NDC makes some mistakes, and then you start to hit after a period. But when you start to do things like the way you're doing, everybody feels that then it feels like it is politics as usual.
Exactly.
And it's the same old thing.
Yeah, and we are getting tired of that.
Yeah.
You understand? Like it's just it's sad to see. And as you say, is a case where there's a lot more eyes now. People are now invested in these things, right? When you see things like this happening, you don't feel good. As a country and as a people, like where our future going? Where instead of doing things that are actually benefit the country as a whole, your opposition is just doing things that will benefit your party.
Yeah.
It doesn't bode well, even as a party, right? As a political strategist, right? This doesn't bode well for you as a party, because you've clearly lost the trust of the people, and you were voted out overwhelmingly in that sense, right? For you to regain that trust back, you need to be able to put yourself in positions where, the people, okay, maybe, they're coming back. I understand. I agree with what they are saying. I agree this, I agree that. But the general sentiment is not in your favor.
Yeah.
And instead of doing that, you're doubling down and doing the things that people don't like. That's what you're doing. And it's a sad thing to see.
Yeah.
You're making the work. You're making the work easy for the ruling party in that sense, right?
Yeah. I feel that there will be the right time to throw whatever attacks they want to throw at the ruling government. It's just not that time
Yeah.
yet. You know,
Yeah.
if I were to be a strategist for the MPP, I would tell them, I'll advise them or recommend to them to tone down a bit
Yeah.
now, allow the NDC to settle in, take your notes at at least 3 months.
Yeah.
Then after 3 months, you notice that, you know, the media has given them enough time to talk about the issues. And I mean, then you start to hit. Because politically, they cannot also be there and act as though nothing is happening in the
Yeah.
country, which is
Exactly.
why they would want to respond to anything.
Mm.
Just, last week, we had the president, giving out the State of the Nation's
Yeah.
address. I mean, there's a lot to be said
Yeah.
about, whether, it was right, it was, whether he said the right
Mhm.
thing, said the
In
wrong
that
thing,
sense.
whether he, said things that, was what Ghanaians wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Obviously, from any member of the opposition party, they would never take anything as what
No, 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 no.
the president said. They would never take anything that he said as right.
Of course.
But there should, and obviously because a State of the Nation address is talking about what state the nation was left
Exactly.
for you,
Mm-hmm.
as you took over. It's your first official State
Mm-hmm.
of the Nation address after you were sworn in as president.
Yeah.
So definitely you need to highlight a lot more about the state in which we are in,
Mm-hmm.
and then give a bit of indication of what you intend to do,
Yeah.
to remedy the state that was left for you, which
Exactly.
you think is bad,
Mm-hmm.
and tell us a bit about what you want to do to fix that. And that would mean that now Ghanaians have that confidence that you are saying A, B, C, D was left, and this is what you're going to do to remedy the situation. So, State of the Nation address is just to manage the expectations of the citizens.
Yeah.
So that the citizens have an idea of what country was left for you, and then how best you are going to continue from where the people left off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we look forward to seeing,
We look forward to
subsequent days to see how best the NDC's promised reset agenda is something, whether it was just a promise or is something that they can actually do or realize.
At this time, the only thing we can do is wait. Time will tell, right?
Yeah, time will tell. I think that Ghanaians gave Nanado time.
8 solid years, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Nanado preached the message of hope.
Yeah.
Nanado
Beyond
campaigned,
all that.
on hope, on the whole message of hope. And because he preached that message, Ghanaians said, you know what, let's give you the opportunity. We gave him the opportunity. And from this overwhelming election defeat, it's an indication Ghanaians were not satisfied with his tenure. So it's also a lesson to the NDC that
it is.
You come, you do not meet the expectations of the people, and the people are going to show you the door.
I like that. I also like in terms of the State of the Nation address, how he addressed the corruption bit, where some of the people have been arrested or some of them are being wanted. Sets a precedent where okay, I hope and I believe that it will continue.
Yeah,
they can even get regardless. It shouldn't be a partisan thing, regardless of whoever is in power. If you fumble in that sense, you should be held accountable for that.
You can't steal from the state and expect to walk a free man and expect that Ghanaians would it's theft. It's
proper,
like
proper.
Do you know what it means to take money from just a private person without it's jail time for you.
Yeah,
when a
exactly.
person intends to take you on legally. So when you steal from the country,
Stealing from the people, our
you
taxpayers.
steal from the people, you steal from the public purse. It does not, I mean, the fact that you're a party person does not mean that you should be left to go. So like if somebody said, I mean, I think Manasseh Azuri, if you are not a witch, why are you concerned about witch hunting?
Exactly.
You see, so you say something is witch hunting, but it is only witches who would be concerned when there is an activity of witch hunting going on. So the point is that people need to be brought to book. People need to be questioned. People need to be arraigned before court. People need to be prosecuted. And people need to be jailed. Monies need to be retrieved.
Exactly.
And
assets should be seized.
And I believe that was one of NDC's strongest messages that Ghanaians bought into the whole conversation of the oral.
The oral is actually a good
operation to recover, operation to recover everything that has been stolen. And looted. So.
But I also think it's also looking at the American Doge system. I wish we had a similar one in the country where we go into our systems and take. You see, there's efficiency. We've had a lot of ghost names. We've discovered the what do you call it? The
national service.
Over 80,000 names that are being paid a month. That's ridiculous. And other places like that. If we had a system like that, I think we'll have a lot of what do you call it? As you said, efficiency and monies that we thought are being wasted can be used for other things as well.
Yeah, I think that the honorable minister designate for
finance.
No, I think local government also, or public sector reform. I think one of them, a lady, she spoke about the government's commitment to use digitalization. To improve the government services, to make sure that there's efficiency, there's effectiveness. I just hope that these things are not things that people just talk about, because over the years the politicians have been in the business of sweet talk, no action, sweet talk, bitter action, sweet talk, bitter action. It's like we just want the politicians to walk the talk.
Exactly.
The way you sweet talk, you need to do the sweet action.
Yes.
Like sweet talk, sweet action, sweet talk, sweet action. Like work, let the people see you are working for them. And trust me, and like it's been always said, public service is not a place to make money.
No.
Like don't go in public service. Public service is like, it's not by force. Nobody forces you to become a member of party. Nobody forces you to affiliate yourself to a party to get a certain position. Nobody forces you to lobby. So once you get a position, it's like, if you want money, you can do private service, private work. Like you don't answer to anybody. There is no public, account committee for you to go and sit there to answer when you are doing your private service. I mean, your private work. But once you do public service, there are certain things that are expected of you, because the monies are people. Taxes are used to pay you. So I just wish that people would snap out of the whole notion that it is my party, I have to get this benefit, and this benefit must bring me this XYZ amount of money. Like, we need to get people to think that being part of a party is not wrong, but when you get the opportunity to serve because your party is in power, you are going to put the interest of the nation above the interest of the party.
That is the thing that
your personal interest.
I hope will happen.
Yeah, hopefully.
I really hope. Let's say I'm hopeful. I don't know how big my hope is, but I'm hopeful still that eventually we'll come to a position where the party Ghana comes first before the party comes second. Where we are more patriotic. Where like we cannot do this because it won't benefit the country. So we don't put our interest first. We put the country first. In that sense, right?
Yeah.
I think it was last year where the parliamentarians were talking about how we should be more appreciative of them. They are sacrificing, blah blah. They need more. It's like, dude, nobody told you to go there. You understand? You put yourself in a position where you're supposed to serve the people. But now you want to be what's the word? To be worshipped and to be more like that is not the case. It's supposed to be public service. You're serving your people, not the other way around. But man, is it the way we practice our politics where people think that if you get to a position of power in terms of public service, you need to feel a certain way that you're above certain people, rather than the opposite where I'm here for you. I'm supposed to serve
It's just been the orientation of leadership. I mean, culturally, we have, from a chieftaincy system, traditional ruling system, it's like our leaders are seen like literally like little gods on earth.
Yeah.
So it's just the whole tag, oh, honorable, His Excellency, so people. But the point is that leadership, is just service.
Yeah.
And you should just understand that you account to the people.
Yeah.
The people put you there. The people can take you out. The people are the ones who say you've done well or you've not done well.
Yeah.
So you need to hold a certain standard, high, for people to say that truly indeed you have led well.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping, like we're saying, we're just hoping that we'll get to a point, anybody who gets the opportunity to serve the country, gets that orientation that it's Ghana first, before, my party's interest or my personal interest.
Yeah. All right, bro. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Bless. All right.